Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Monday. It's February the 1st, so we're starting a new month. We just completed the first month of the new year, and while a lot of it was down, it's turned out to be a pretty good month. So lots of good movement, and hopefully we'll continue to get lots of good movement. Maybe most of it will be up going forward. We'll just have to see. A couple of issues. Our website has been down all day. It went down early in the pre-trading hours this morning, and it was up and down a couple of times, and finally went down, and we have not been able to get it back up. There's something going on with the server. I've been in touch with our host, and supposedly they're working on it, and I can't get back through. So my hope is it'll be up soon. That's all I can say at this point. But we're aware of it, and if you can't get in, that's why. We are having some server issues, and they're trying to get it fixed. And as soon as I finish this chart lesson, I'm going to be back on the phone with them again because they promised me it would be done by lunch. And well, it's dinner time now, and we still cannot access the website. So I apologize for that, but just nothing we can do about it till they figure out whatever the server issue is. And this seems like a very long outage to me, much longer than it should have been. So I'm not happy about it, but there's nothing I can do about it until they can get it up and going again. So I'm going to move through this pretty quickly tonight. Uh, it was really all uphill from, notice we had this channel coming down, we had a break, a new low, and then it was all uphill after that. Nice two-tiered channel, we overshot it, and then sold off. But that's well after 2 o'clock, so for the most part, it was all uphill all morning from the open on. So we did have this little retest of the low, but then I guess you could say from 9 o'clock on, it was all uphill. So anyway, let's back out where you can see a little better, talk about the trades, and get this wrapped up, and that way I can get back to work and try to figure out what's going on with our website. Okay, as we came in this morning, we were working lower, and we were actually bouncing off this low. Notice we kind of made a double bottom. We pulled up. This was the second entry short, and this was a very nice bearish bar. What I liked about this one, the bearish bar is so big, you really can't get into this trade. Um, what I liked about it was it broke higher above this bar right here first. It went higher and then turned and went directly out the other side. I like using the stop right there and just waiting on that to hit. And when it did, it dropped down real quickly, and it got just enough for a scalp, and then it bounced. Um, if you didn't get into it here, uh, notice what happened here. We bounced, we confirmed that trend line. So if you didn't get in here, I wouldn't drop a limit order back in when it bounced right here. I would wait till we got to the other side, and we finally get a break right here. It looks like it tried to close outside, but that is so close. I'd be very leery about it, but it does look like it tries to close outside, then it turns back, and then we get a repeat pattern of what we had here. Notice it went higher and then turns back down. So if you want to be aggressive because it's a repeat pattern and because it is off the key entry point, right off the trend line, you might risk that one. But I think you're really better off to wait to get a close and attempt at a new high, and that comes right here. But this one's worth considering. And if you want to be aggressive, like I said, the only way I'd probably enter it is on when it went higher, automatically put your stop here in case it comes through, and it does, and it drops straight down. It was a quick, easy scalp, but then it bounces. And you see how strong a bounce it was. So you got to be careful with that stuff. Even your shorter term trend lines, try to play by the rules. If you get a double trap here, if this would have tried to go higher again and then turns down, and you get a bearish bar, then yeah, you might enter there. But we run and make a new high, and this, you can't go short below this bar. It's too bullish. So when you get this one, it's too big. So if you wanted, you could wait on this one to break lower, or wait on a break below this one and drop your limit order back up here where it goes, and you would have gotten filled when it came back. But you're probably better off just to wait, and you get a short right there off this second entry counting off the high. And it's actually a second entry counting off the low because this swing low is lower than that one, so it starts over. So first entry, pull back. So that's a nice second entry short. It's a nice bearish bar. It's a second entry short counting off this high. And so there's several reasons. And plus you're looking for a retest of the low. And now you've had a break and a new high. So everything sets up right there. We move down, and then guess what? You get a new low here, pull back first entry, pull back second entry, and you get a second entry short right there. And notice that's the first break of this trend line working on the retest, runs to it. I'm sorry, excuse me, and it runs to a new low, and then it bounces, and then we're trending higher the rest of the day. If we'd have got a good signal bar, if you had a really good signal bar here, I might consider a long on this snapback, because this is where you often catch these really good trades. Because notice all that support across there, and this is a failed break lower, but we just don't. I don't get a setup on my chart. It just doesn't happen. But we got a nice trend working up. You never really get a chance to enter it. So you want to kind of wait on that reversal pattern, but you got all your clues here. Look how we ran through that and how far. But it looked like, hey, we may set up a trading, trading range here with this being the high when we double test it over here. But again, you just don't really get a good setup. This would be the first instance I would be interested in going short, but it's not the most bearish bar. And you got to go short right into the support. So I think you got to skip it, and it does break lower. This is just a little congestion area, so just a smaller trading range. So it's tempting to go long right here, but I almost always want to wait on a second entry off of this. And this is like a double top. So there's your first entry, pull back second entry, and it goes lower, turns and goes out the upper side. Just have you a stop waiting there. Otherwise, put your stop above this bar, and it pulls back. It gives you a second chance to enter, but again, I don't like the signal bar, and by the time you get this one, it's right into resistance. So this was your only real decent entry here. This looks a lot like a breakout pullback long, but again, too much overlap, too much congestion, a couple of dojis in there. Just wait, and it comes back. And you get a second entry long right here. Notice the new high, pull back first entry, pull back second entry. It bounces right off the support, previous resistance area. Quick, easy scalp, and then it comes back, and it gives you another chance to enter right here. That's really, on a bigger picture, 2 legs back, so another second entry if you're counting on the bigger picture. And it's a nice bullish reversal bar. And you did get confirmation of this trend line right here too. And that looks like the first break. So we're going to probably retest this high. And that's what happens. You make a new high and then you're going lower. And notice that's a new high. Pull back first entry. Pull back second entry right off the EMA. No reason to go long there. But when it makes that failed second entry long, just go short, because that's a nice long trap. Quick move down. It pulls back to test the EMA. That's not the best signal bar, but this is like a double top, so you can treat this as another failed second entry long. Chance to go short. You it room to get out before you get back down here. This one's real close to being green because it's right into this support resistance, although we did push through here. It didn't really hold real strongly the last couple of times, and it did push through here again. But you still got to be a little concerned about it, so you want to make sure you get in with enough room. So you might have let this one break lower and then try to get in a tick or so better just to make sure you got enough room. But it worked either way. If you didn't use a limit order, I'd probably say this one's a little more aggressive. But if you're paying attention, you're probably okay. But now we got a break in a new low, and look how we're going sideways, all that congestion, and so you don't want to be going short or really long out of that. But notice we bounce right off where there's a possible trend line here. We come back and test it. So that confirms that trend line, gives you a second entry long, a really nice bullish reversal type bar right there. It closes on its very high, and we're off to the races here. And any runners would have been safe here. And notice that this is a double bottom here. So you can count that as a new low. First entry, pull back second entry. So this is like a second entry that fails and turns up. Look at that bullish bar. It's the first break of the trend line. Just go long right there. And again, if you caught this, you can ride this all day. Um, but again, you got another double bottom here, so another new low. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry. It fails. It bounces right off the trend line. We're not quite to the upper side of the channel, and off it goes again. You didn't get a runner on this one. There's a second entry long right here that if it hadn't been after 2 o'clock, I mean, I'll still circle that one because it's a great second entry setup, and look how it took off again. And there is the only question about that is we did just come off of the upper trend line, but there's still room to get out before we go back and test it again, which is probably what's going to happen, even if we don't continue higher. But this thing just pushes right on through that upper trend line, and off it goes. But that got you into the 2 o'clock hour. So, pretty good day. Again, for the most part, it was all uphill. There were a couple of shorts early on, and you really could take some more shorts here because we're still kind of going back and forth across the EMA. So even though we're trending higher, it's got a little bit of a range kind of feel to it, and it looked like maybe we were in a range right here. But when it comes down here and bounces and keeps going, you got to assume the channel is in play and taking precedence over that range. So, but that's what I saw today. Somebody else asked me about. I got another email. People are always saying, always they like hearing the other people's success and all. So I wanted to read. Let me just pause it. I'm gonna pull up an email that somebody sent me. And this trader sent me this email this morning, success story, and he makes some really good points. I really wanted to read his. But the guy sends me his email, says, I bought your manual about 1.5 years ago and have been studying it and your price action videos ever since. Just want to let you know it's finally soaking in. I have now made 24 winning trades in a row, a new record for me. And people, don't want to believe that you can have multiple winning trades in a row. Well, here's a guy that's doing it. And, who knows? He may end up getting 40 in a row. I don't know. He may have had a losing trade right after this, because a lot of times that's what happens. It goes to your head and you start to get nervous. I used to, early on when I first started having winning streaks like that, I would get very nervous, and they were almost self-fulfilling because you start to think about it so much. And I used to hate having those long streaks because it would always inevitably lead to me doing something stupid because I just get overconfident. So, but over time you'll work your way through that. So, but anyway, he made his bullet points here. He says, after he says the 24 winning trades in a row, new record for me, some things that I believe make the biggest difference for me. And this is not, when I read these, it just sounds like me saying the same things. And I hear this over and over from other traders. So this is why I say these things, because they work. But here's his 5 bullet points. 1, don't overtrade. I wait for the best setups. Be as patient as you can. Don't try to pick highs and lows. Very low win percentage trying to do that. Number 3, trade what I see happen on the chart, not what I think price should do. I mean, this guy's got it. He understands it. When in doubt, just drop the mouse. Another trade will come along. Number 5, always draw short-term trend lines. They are the key to see what is going on. This should probably be number 1 on the list. So this guy gets it. I can tell by what he's writing that unless he just decided he wants to parrot me and make it sound like he's doing well, but why would anybody do that? He knows what's going on. I know I can talk to a trader and within 5 minutes know if they really know what they're talking about. This guy knows what he's talking about. Doesn't mean that he's there yet. It doesn't mean that he's going to start making money today and every day going forward. But it sounds like, if he's got 24 winning trades in a row, he knows what he's doing. He's doing something right. Most people would tell you that's impossible. I see it happen every day. I know it can be done. So don't believe it when people tell you you can't get to 70, 80, and 90% or better win percentages, because it can be done. Is it easy? No. Can everybody do it? No. Do most people do it? No. But those that believe and do what we try to teach them, a lot of them do succeed at it. So he goes on to say, it's hard to believe sometimes how much my trading has improved in just the last month or so. Things just seem to click. I work at this every day and am really pleased it's starting to pay off more and more. I owe you a huge thanks for what you do for people like me that are trying very hard to become a consistent, successful trader. I'm still learning new things every day and plan to get better as I go. And then he says thanks again and gives his name. He does say feel free to share if you think it could help others. And I always like sharing this, and I know people like to hear them because people ask for them. And I would just say this gentleman, tell him he's probably watching the video or will watch it, and when you do, you're going to continue to get better at this. That's what's really so rewarding about it, is when you get good and think you can't get any better, you still continue to get better as you get more experience and you learn more things. And I still get better every day. I know that's hard to believe, but I do. And it's because I sit here and look at it every day, and I go back and I study. And that's one of the reasons. I mean, I've got some selfish reasons for doing the chart lesson. One of them is to help other people, but one of them is because it forces me to go back and study my chart every day. So every trading day, I go back and study my chart, and I go back through it. I only trade part of the day, so I may not even be around when this part, when the afternoon part prints. So I go in and I study it, and I look at it, and I find the setups and the trades, and I mark them, and it just forces me to do another look at my chart and to double check it and to look at my own trades and compare them to what I see after the fact. And that's one reason I still get better every day. So, those of you that are just out there trading every day and then you close your charts and go home, you're not going to get better, I promise you. With enough time, you'll probably slowly get better, but you're not going to become really proficient at this until you get your chart out at the end of the day and you study all your trades and you just study the chart. And you just follow the price action and you look for the setups. You try to find the trend lines, the key entry points, the support and resistance areas, trend lines, and then you try to find the trades. And where do all the best moves come from? What do I always tell you? The key entry points, which are the support and resistance horizontals, and the trend lines, which are just slanted support and resistance. But look at this. Where did every big move on this move come from? Right off this trend line. There's the first one. Look at it. There's the next one. Look at it. Look at this one take off. Look at this one take off. Come back over to this one. Where the big moves come from? Off that trend line. Off this support and resistance. Next big move right there. Support and resistance and this trend line. Look at this big move. Where does it come from? Down here at this main support. And look at that move. Where do the big moves come on the way down? Where are the big moves happening? There, there, there. Where are they coming from? Off the key entry points. And if you can find those key entry points and you can be patient enough to wait on prices to come back to it and then give you a setup, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to at least improve your trading. So anyway, I'm not going to keep this going today. I'm going to wrap it up because I need to work on our website. But hopefully we'll be up and going before tomorrow morning. If you still can't get in tomorrow morning, you know that I'm pretty upset and pretty frustrated by that point. But I'm hoping we'll resolve this before the evening is over. But I'm going to wrap it up, and we'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.